Welcome, everybody, to our first episode of Late Night Letterboxd on the Late Night Chat Network, your first stop for pop culture talk. I'm your host, Nico, and my Letterboxd name is Neeks87 if you ever want to check out my Letterboxd account. And how about you, Jay?
I'm JT, as you can see, fresh as can be. But yeah, my Letterboxd account is JT Maz with 2 Z's, but it's all capitals.
Julie?
I'm Julie. My Letterboxd is JulieMac13, and I think of the three of us, my tenure on Letterboxd has been longest.
Yes,
but
you actually put me on the Letterboxd.
I was gonna say I didn't want to take credit because I couldn't. I was gaslighting myself about whether I did or not. But
I was aware of what it was, but I think it was at one of our meetups, probably a couple of years ago, maybe even to record all with each other, as it probably 2 years ago now, at an in-person. I think I've been using it now, and you're the one that convinced me to sign up. Actually, I think it may have been at Lewis's when we did the wing. I think when we did the
probably when we did our Hot One special.
The Hot One special, which check it out, guys, if you haven't seen that. It is
I love that episode.
On the front page right now of or actually now it's not, because we put our episode 300 goodbye video. That's on the front page. But if you search for it in our playlist, I think it's in like late night specials, where it's like different stuff that we've done. It's our Hot One special that Julie kind of produced the whole thing, filmed it and everything else. And that was a lot of fun. But I believe that's when I actually signed up, because we started talking about, like we've done a bunch of times, the movies that you haven't seen are pretty crazy. Honestly.
Everyone is upset and offended by it all the time.
Which is
that's fine.
Doing like this show with you, honestly, it is
finding out shit for pop culture that I should know that I don't. Exactly. But shout out to my boy Miles. He's the one that put me onto Letterboxd initially, so can't take all the credit.
There you go. So yeah, and then Jay, as an extension of us having to do this, wanting to do this show, and us talking to him.
Whose extension am I? Yours?
What's that?
Julie's. Who's first? Whose extension am I? Yours or Julie's? Because I don't know who told
me. Extension of the network.
Yeah, I mean, like it's inspired you. Max as well, who just creeps Letterboxd and doesn't actually.
He's a lurker.
Yeah,
he's a lurker, man.
Wants to read everybody's comments.
He's incognito.
Yeah, he'll come on the show though and let you guys know about what his name is on Letterboxd eventually whenever he's back with us. So
if he ever confirms his email and actually sets it up.
I know, we were following him at one point.
He disappeared. Yeah.
But yeah, follow us on there, guys, if you do want to see the movies that we plan on talking about on the show. I'm trying to make the effort to write a little bit more like smaller reviews lately, and I've really been going out of my way to try to watch a bunch of films that I've never seen before over the last couple of years, trying to brush up on that kind of thing. Like I'm not in the cinephile kind of like, honestly, I'm not considering myself one at this point in time, but I am making the effort to kind of go and watch a bunch of things and things I've heard that are good or that I should have watched. Right. But I don't watch like, old black and white films. I don't watch like, I'm not on the Criterion Network channel, like scoping out things. So I don't have taste in that, like in that sense. So I don't consider myself. I'm more of
not a film bro.
No, I am a film bro. We're bringing it back. Film bros they make fun of because they don't have taste in that regard. All right. So we're trying to normalize that term around here. Me and Max, the film bro, because
we're gonna bring it back.
Sometimes you just like movies because they're, you know what I mean? You like movies. Like, you don't have to fucking be like, I've watched the whole 100 best movies ever made list to be considered, you know what I mean? Like some sort of like highfalutin kind of,
yeah.
source for like, you know what I mean? For like, I know movies and I know what I'm talking about type of shit. Right. So that's the fun part about doing this show. And I know it's funny saying that, and we literally have a show that's based around Letterboxd, but there's a lot of dude bros on there too, film bros. So
yeah,
shout out to the film bros of Letterboxd. But yeah, it's a fun community. I honestly do enjoy it. I like seeing people's videos that they do when they meet up with these stars at the red carpets, and they make them give them their top 4 favorites, which is an impossible task. Do you have a 4 favorites posted on Letterboxd currently?
I do, but they're very much It doesn't really. It's to everybody's teach their own kind of thing, right?
Right.
I wouldn't say that I have like a super. Well, I guess it's a little bit niche. It's kind of.
Mine's very film bro. Get ready for this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I actually recently just changed one of them because I heard someone talking about this, and it's so true. Your taste could change on any given day in terms of like what. Yeah, I mean, if anything, I might just start changing mine constantly just to highlight 4 films that I like and my favorites, because I think it's so hard to definitively say these are your 4 favorite films, right? And it's all just personal, like preference, honestly. Like
for sure.
Yeah. So mine are, and then again, very film bro, but these are a lot of films that were very like when I started getting into watching movies,
they're important to you.
Teenage years, these are ones that made an impact. Yeah. And that's Goodfellas, Pulp Fiction, Scarface, and I recently switched out Fight Club 2 for T2, Terminator 2, because if anybody knows, I do love my Arnold, and Terminator 2 is a classic. Like, I don't care even if you're into Arnold, even if you're not, it's just a great movie about the future that we're gonna go through in a few years.
I love that Fight Club got replaced. That's funny.
Listen, Fight Club is still great. Don't get me wrong.
It's awesome.
It's a 5-star movie, but is the most toxic masculinity film bro movie of all time. And I'm just like, you know what? If there's one movie I'm going to drop from this list out of all these gangster films, I'm going to drop this one. I'm going to put it in T2 because
that's fair. I like it. I respect that pick. And but you know what too? Like it's funny, like just Fight Club in itself. Like when people took it so seriously.
Right.
Like there's two sort of factions of people. Like some people were like, oh yeah, like it's sort of radicalized maybe a little bit,
right.
But like people took the toxic masculinity to heart. And then you have to realize and look at the book and everything. And it's like, no, this was a parody on like, on the dude bro shit. So, but I fucking love that movie.
No, but that's the thing. I will defend it still, despite there being a faction of people that maybe look at the film differently than others.
For sure, yeah.
I brought that point up, and that's not, I would say, the only reason I took it out of my list. But I was kind of just like, if there's one movie that I respect the hell out of, and it's just super well made, and one of David Fincher's best, I could easily put that in that conversation at any time. But it was just one. When I was looking at it, I'm like, I got to drop one of these for T2 because I was like, I really want T2 in there. And that was the one that honestly, because I don't revisit Fight Club as much as I revisit Goodfellas and Scarface and Pulp Fiction, honestly. But it's like, even in terms of Fincher films, it's probably like, I might like 7 more than Fight Club. You know what I mean? I really love 7 a lot. So it's just like, it's hard to, it's Fincher's, I really love a lot of Fincher films for that matter. Right. So it's but Fight Club is just like, it's a 5-star movie. All these are 5-star movies, in my opinion, that are in my list, right? Like, in my top 4 favorites. So I
would agree with that. Yeah, mine are all 5 stars in my opinion. These are all, I think that none of these will be hot takes about me putting these in my top 4. That's what I think. Spirited Away is my number 1. I think that's just it's anybody who knows me knows that one fucking hits. I love that movie. Yeah. And you know what? I saw it pretty late in life, but I was like, oh fuck, this really speaks to my like I wanted this movie when I was a kid and I just never saw it.
I'm waiting for a Miyazaki pick. I mean, if you bring one to the show, I'm not going to be mad. I've seen all of his films. So.
I know, but JT will bitch and like I don't want to hear it.
Well, listen.
Don't speak English.
No, they have dubs, bro. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Spirited Away is my one spot. I mean, whatever. These are my top 4 in whatever order.
I haven't go through any of your stuff either, so I really don't know what's the So I'm just trying to put it in my head and try to think.
Fair. So, Spirited Away. I got Watchmen on there. I know that's a controversial pick amongst our group here. Pan's Labyrinth is up there.
Interesting.
And V for Vendetta. That's my current top 4. Spirited Away is going to hold the spot. Pan's Labyrinth is going to hold spot. If I ever have to swap one out, it's going to be Watchmen or V for Vendetta, but it will be really tough. I love those movies.
It's so fascinating that you, have two of Alan Moore's greatest comics ever, film adaptations, which he absolutely despises.
Yep.
In your top 5.
That's what I mean. It's controversial amongst us.
I will say though, in terms of like the stuff that he's worked on, I do find Watchmen one of my favorite things that he's done.
I love that movie.
Zack Snyder directed that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't really love a lot of the stuff that he. Well, I mean, he's sort of hit and miss for me, but I really liked Watchmen a lot, and I have a whole playlist that was just kind of like, not under the radar comic book movies, but like, because they're not under the radar. Like, some of them will be like, it's a comic book movie, but like sort of deviated from mainstream, like outside of the Marvel universe, outside of like, you know what I mean, like the big box type shit. Yeah, it's sort of deviated from that
type stuff, the stuff that's not all capes and cowls like type of superhero
exactly stuff. Like The Crow, like fucking The Mask. Like, I have a whole playlist of ones that I'm like, I called it the under the radar comic book movies, but I tend to lean more towards those. Like, I tend to like, I show some more favoritism towards that, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But that's what's in my current top 4.
Nice. Jay, you don't have one currently, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Of Watchlist? I've watched like stuff I want to watch.
No, on Letterboxd in your profile, because I know you're new to Letterboxd, you can create a top 4 favorite films.
Your 4 favorite movies.
4 favorite movies, and it's on your profile page essentially. I don't know if you've created that part yet.
No. Like I said, I still got just the one list going on, right? Just
can you think of? Do you think of any, like, it doesn't have to be 4, but do you have any movies that you are like categorically these are your like top favorite movies?
Off the top of your head,
of all time?
Yeah.
Oh wow, no.
Personal favorites.
The Notebook.
No, that's
it's like a guilty pleasure playlist for Jay.
No, I was actually disappointed, to be honest with you.
He liked the book better.
Oh, true. I remember this. Yeah.
Well, yeah, better. So, I mean, yeah. But no, really, off the top of my head, out of my favorite movies, I can't think. I have a lot of sci-fi too stuff that I've been noticing that I've seen on these. I've been kind of briefly skimming through and trying to learn Letterboxd, and it's interesting because there's a lot to go through, and you can figure you get a lot to play with, right? But a lot of the movies that I have gone to see there, I remember seeing them all. I just have and I can't pick out which ones would be my favorite right now off the top of my head. But yeah, I'm hoping to come with that soon for the next one, at least, because I've now that I've started making a list of anything too that I want to watch coming up too, right?
So stay tuned for that. Maybe we can get Jay to figure out his top 4 for next episode. But we're still developing this kind of show. And for anybody that's watched Late Night at the Movies, this is basically just an extension of our segment that we used to do on there, where we talked about movies that we've been watching and movies that we're looking forward to watching. But we're also trying to kind of pair it with the Letterboxd aspect of it to give you our ratings on these movies, maybe giving you some reviews from Letterboxd on these movies, and kind of being a little bit more involved in terms of like, while monitoring each other's lists as friends on there as well, and in terms of doing the show, but also with the Letterboxd community in that respect, right? So that it should be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to kind of developing this as it goes. But does anybody want to get started with us here with what they've been watching lately in terms of their Letterboxd logged movies?
I can kind of skim through mine if you want.
Sure.
I gotta figure out, like, when we did our last record, I feel like I definitely remember I mentioned I watched Detroit Rock City, so that's old news.
Yes.
The Faculty, did I talk about that? I saw that for the first time.
I heard they're remaking that. Is that true?
I don't know. I never had seen it, and I paid attention to it mostly, but it was kind of like on in the background. I was sort of in and out. But that was the first time
people in that movie. A lot.
Yeah.
People are in that movie.
Big cast. But like before they were big.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn.
And the other weird thing I learned when I because Christine was watching it, I feel like a little while ago, is that Robert Rodriguez directed that. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Which I'm like, really? I was like, what the hell? I believe that's the case. I'm gonna look it up while you're talking. I think that is the case. So or if you have it there, you should check. I think he's the director on that, if I'm not mistaken, which I was surprised to see.
Yeah.
It must be early in his career. Like when did that come out?
98.
Okay, so it's after like El Mariachi and Once Upon a Time, because he has that Once Upon a Time in Mexico movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that trilogy.
No.
Those are good. The one where he has the gun in the guitar case, Antonio Banderas. Have you ever
Okay,
seen that?
okay. Yeah, I'm like aware of that, but like, yeah, no, I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, it's a trilogy.
Antonio's my boy too.
The trilogy of films. That's something you should put on your watch list.
All right. Let's.
It's called there's 3 movies. It's El Mariachi, which is super low budget. It's the first one he did.
Okay.
El Mariachi, and then it becomes Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Oh no, Desperado, and then Once Upon a Time in Mexico is the last one. Desperado is the best one out of the 3. You can actually just
damn that hair. Fuck.
He's sick in this movie. I'm surprised he's got a gun in a guitar case. It's sick, and Salma Hayek's in it. It's so fun. I mean, I like it. If you like Tarantino movies, you'll like this, like some of his like style like that he has. Like Robert Rodriguez it's different though. It's not exactly the same. It's a bit different, but I think
Tarantino, like for the most part, they hit. Sometimes I'm like, this was like a little overzealous or whatever. But like for the most part, Tarantino's so like if it's kind of in that same realm like that, I'll be comfy there. Ignore the noise going on behind me. Fuck. I don't know how much of it is spilling over. I'm just gonna try and talk over him.
A bit here and there. We're good.
All right. So I watched The Faculty, which was new, which was like they were kind of surprised I hadn't seen it or heard of it or anything.
So that's the one where they turn it
all into
aliens, right, or something like that.
Like this like virus infects the staff of the fucking high school and stuff. So it was kind of like in the genre,
some sort of
horror-ish, but not really. It was kind of like soft horror, so it was okay. I wasn't like.
Yeah, it's like a teen drama.
I wasn't like off put by like the horror part. It was
fun.
I rewatched Shape of Water. Fucking love that movie.
Never seen it.
Are you fucking serious, man?
I told you this.
Did we talk about this last time? And I'm still taken aback every time. Yeah, you don't want to watch the one where she fucks the fish guy, whatever. I watched a movie called Burning.
Jay would probably love it.
I think you would, Jay. I think you really would.
Fish guy?
It's a woman that bends the fish creature, Jay.
It's like a romantic movie. It's Guillermo del Toro.
Like a mermaid sort of thing? Like a
what?
You ever seen Hellboy? You ever seen Hellboy? It's like the creature in
Hellboy. Abe Sapien?
Yeah, the red bull or whatever the fuck he is.
Like that's Hellboy, but the blue guy that he's with, Abe Sapien.
This guy.
That's okay.
He's like a fish man. This movie is about somebody that bangs like a fish dude.
Yeah. She like falls in love with this guy, this creature. It's supposed to be, what is it? The Creature of the Black Lagoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a twist. It's a twist on like what if that became a love story?
Yes.
And I think it was like a really well made, and it's shot in Toronto.
It won an award. Yeah, Del Toro shoots here a lot. His Frankenstein movie is shot here too. It's gonna come out later this year. Yeah.
Okay. It's good, Jay. You should watch it. That's a 5-star movie for me.
I will eventually. When I heard about it, I was like, what?
I know. You're like, this is like, you get the ick about the storyline. You get it
too. I love Del Toro. I mean,
I watched a movie called Burning, which is I think it's a Korean movie.
Okay.
It had a lot of hype somewhere online. We watched it. It was crap. I did not like it.
Rating? Any rating on that? Or
I put 1.5 stars.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, it was rough. All show, no go. That's what we said. But there was people. Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those like divided crowds again, where like people on Reddit are jerking off about it, and I was like, did we watch the same movie? Like, this was a pile of shit. I don't know. It was one that had everybody really divided. Like, I think it was just a lot of ambiguous tension and build up, and it didn't really go. It didn't go. I don't know. It did not hit for me. I don't know. I rewatched Wanted. I know that's a trash movie, but I was like, it's time to revisit it.
Is that the one where they bend the bullets and stuff?
Yeah. I gave that 3.5 stars.
You know, Julie, that's based on a comic.
It's going in the fucking playlist then, dude.
That's what I want to tell you. Yeah, that's a comic.
I wonder, it might already be in there even.
Yeah.
My review for that just said physics has left the chat because they just ignore science in that movie altogether. I rewatched UHF with my friend who had never seen it before.
Weird Al. Yeah.
He's a huge Weird Al fan. He'd never seen it. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, we have to watch it. It's great. Like, there's so much quotable shit in that movie. Yeah. It's such a fun movie.
Did you guys watch the new Weird Al movie that came out like a year ago? That was
no, but that's why we were talking about it, because he was like, "Oh, I really liked it." Blah blah blah.
It's really good.
Yeah,
it's very good as well.
Is this like the biopic one you're talking about?
Yeah, it's one Harry Potter plays.
Yeah. I didn't see it yet, but like that's on my watch list too.
It's good.
I rewatched Birdman because we were talking about like the continuous shot thing, this sort of illusion of the one shot.
Yeah,
it had something to do with that war movie, which I haven't seen, but we're just talking about like good examples of like this faking the one shot things. We rewatched that.
That's the best same director that did The Revenant, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and that was
finally won an award for, which is completely
I didn't. Anyways, Birdman is, I didn't really give it a rating or anything. I'm not really sure how I feel about it.
Okay. I mean, like, listen, Keaton's always really good, though. Like, he was good in it. Yeah.
It's a little out there, but like, it wasn't bad, but like, I don't know. I'm not really sure how to feel. I didn't, contextualize that one much, but I rewatched it anyway. I rewatched some fun kids movies. I rewatched The Incredibles. I rewatched Lilo and Stitch. I watched American Beauty for the first time.
Oh God.
Yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? Oh my God.
All about the bat drifting in the wind.
Oh God. That was American Beauty? It's Kevin Spacey.
Oh, okay.
And
he has like a midlife crisis and he wants to bang the teenager.
It's like his wife is cheating on him and he wants to bang his daughter's friend.
Yeah. And there's like some stupid fucking douchey artsy student guy that's like obsessed with the bag.
Selling him weed and living at the store, and the drug dealer's dad is like an ex-Marine or something.
Bad movie, in my opinion. I don't think
I watched it because I was like, I've heard things. I don't know. I guess I heard good things about it. I must have had some recommendation to watch it, but then I was like, what the fuck? But the soundtrack, and this is a thing that maybe not everybody gives a shit about, but the guy who composed for it is somebody that I really like. It's a Thomas Newman score, which like, it's just like, that's somebody that I can hear in a movie and I can know it's him. Like, it's just one of those ones. He did Shawshank Redemption. He did Finding Nemo. He has like a stylistic thing that I can pick up on really easily. So I rewatched that and I like the composed stuff that's in it. But that is a really what the fuck movie. I watched Role Models for the first time, and that's a fun movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
I'd never seen it, but that was super fun.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm actually going through the list that you haven't seen, and it's throwing
the list that I haven't seen.
I'm just because I'm browsing while you guys are talking because I'm just trying to get used to this while we're
That's
talking.
fine, yeah. No, that's my what I haven't seen list is aggressive and upsetting.
I think I've seen 90% of what you haven't seen. It's just
probably.
Crazy. Oh,
part of it is for the meme now. I'm like, the longer I let it go, the funnier it gets, I guess. There are things that all knock off. Yeah. It's like, it's a meme about me now. That's what it is.
That's fair.
Yeah. I rewatched American History X. A great movie. That almost could make it into my top 4.
It might be my favorite performance of his. I think it's better.
Mine too.
I think it's better than Fight Club. His performance.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
That's a tough call for me.
It's tough, but I think it's a much more difficult part. The part he plays.
It is, and it's a really impactful kind of. Maybe more so. Yeah, I don't know. It's I love both of them.
Of its time. I don't know. It's weird. It's a really it could really hit hard too.
Right? It was
Edward Norton is not really that likable of a guy, in my opinion. And he
I
plays
agree.
a neo-Nazi in that film, and yet he makes you feel bad for him later on in the movie. Like it's or not maybe feel bad, but understand where he's coming from. Like sorta. I know it's weird to say that, but
no, but like it's a difficult role that like we're made to. Yeah.
Like you really just don't want to like him in that movie, and I'm not a huge fan of him to begin with, but I think he's very good actor. I just don't really love a lot of the characters he plays, but he's very good in that movie. I
am a fan of his. He is very notoriously difficult to work with, like amongst the industry, and I acknowledge that. But I quite like a lot of the stuff that he's in. I rewatched that in the interest of I want to just kind of revisit the movie, but also it was following the thread of to see what Edward Furlong's progression was, because after I watched Detroit Rock City and then he did this, and there was Terminator, and there was whatever. I know, it's so sad. Everybody from that movie is doing so shitty.
Speaking of T2, he was in T2. He was he has credits, man. He had a lot of good movies.
I know, and he just he got famous too early, and it just fucking fell off. He went off the rails, I guess. I don't know.
He was in. It's crazy.
Yeah. I rewatched Deadpool and Wolverine. I gave that 4.5 stars. I didn't write anything about it. I rewatched Stranger Than Fiction.
Oh, the Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah, because we were talking about movies that these comedy actors that play these play in these roles that are like a little bit outside what their typecast is.
Jim Carrey's the best for that. Jim Carrey's
great for that. I was talking about
Adam Sandler too, actually. Adam Sandler has some good ones like that, good examples of that.
That was the other movie I brought up at the time. I was like, we could watch Punch Drunk Love. But that one is it's a little out there.
Have you ever seen Reign Over Me? The one
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good one.
People did not like that movie, I don't think.
I agree. And I agree with people not really knowing or liking that movie, but I really
liked it a lot. I have it on DVD and I'm going to rewatch it soon.
Have you ever seen Jay? That's the one where his family dies.
Sad.
His family dies in the 9/11. Reign Over Me. It's with Adam Sandler. His family dies in 9/11.
And Don Cheadle.
The phone call. I think that there was a phone call at that time that with him. Was that the same movie I'm thinking of?
No, that's Punch Drunk Love. I think you're thinking of.
Yeah,
that's
where he's on the phone sex line and he falls in love and that whole bit. That's Punch Drunk Love. But
it's Reign Over Me. It's with your boy Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, he's in it. And he reconnects with a high school friend or college friend, I guess, after his family dies in 9/11. He has PTSD.
I think I've seen that movie.
It's really sad. It's sad,
super sad, but it's a good movie. I liked it.
Same.
The picture of Don Cheadle. Yeah, I know this one. I see this one. Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a long time, and I mean, if you want to be sad, you give it a rewatch. But I feel like I need to revisit it soon because I haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, Stranger Than Fiction I watched, and I really like that movie, and I kind of forgot how
interesting,
weird and meta that movie is.
Very meta. Very meta.
I watched the new Wallace and Gromit movie.
Oh, how was that?
I don't like. Okay, here's my take about it. It was good. What I didn't like about it was it felt, because there's this whole commentary about AI in it, I feel like we were taken out of the whimsy that is the Aardman stuff. And I was like, this is too real. This is the commentary is a little too real for me. I wanted it to be fun. And it was fun, but I think that just the commentary on the artificial intelligence and the way that technology has sort of progressed and invaded everything, the commentary on it was very current, and I was like, oh, it wasn't as fun as I wanted. It was too real.
Well, that movie, they had commentary on AI in this movie?
That's kind of what the plot is about. I
didn't know that. Okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen any of the little animated shorts. I've seen some of them, but I haven't seen all of them, so I'm not up to date on the lore of this new, to me it was a new antagonist, but this penguin that is an enemy to them in the movie. I'm missing the lead up to that, if there is any, or the context for that being the main antagonist. But it's about, he builds this little robot, this little gnome guy, that helps them do tasks around that. I mean, like he makes all these Rube Goldberg devices and shit. Like that's part of it. Like he makes these little zany machines to help him get out of bed and make breakfast. And it was this whole, that's kind of his thing, right? With Wallace. But he makes this little gnome guy that's a robot, and then they give him artificial intelligence and he becomes evil and he makes more. And it was a whole thing about how AI is ruining everything, and I was like, this is too real. I don't want to know about all this. I
just want to laugh at this cartoon movie.
Yeah, I just wanted it to be fun and whimsical, and it's still a good movie, but I was just like, oh damn it, this is too fucking current for me.
Right.
And then we watched Any Given Sunday, and we're up to date. That's everything I've seen in the last little while.
And if you guys want to know how she felt about that movie, watch her review of it and late night.
Get your popcorn out. Come see what I was saying about it.
All right. Jay, did you have anything on your list you wanted to mention? I got a long list, so I mean, I can get to mine unless you got something to say or anything that you've.
I mean, stuff that I've watched. I watched obviously Any Given Sunday.
Yep.
But I've also I was just looking at the fucking name of it too. I watched Flight Risk. I started watching Flight Risk, and I kind of dozed off halfway through it. So I don't know if that tells you whether or not it's a good movie or not.
That's the new Mark Wahlberg film, right?
Mark Wahlberg, yeah, Topher Reed, yeah,
and directed by Mel Gibson.
Yeah, it's a weird, yeah. So I don't know if that's why I started to doze off. It's we'll see what because I want to finish it. It just came out recently.
Yeah, it looks strange. That's actually a remake, believe it or not. That's a remake, that film.
Yeah, because I thought I had seen Flight Risk. I thought I've heard that name Flight Risk before. I didn't know if it had anything to do with the same one.
This is what I was just thinking. I was like, I didn't know that there was a new one. I thought that I knew that, but I was like thinking it's really old. Or it's not super old, but who was...
There's an old... I think it's old. I think it is old. I don't know if it's like from the... I'll look it up, but go ahead, Jay. I mean,
I was thinking of one from the 90s or something, but yeah, go ahead.
That came out in January, right? That's the one I'm talking about with, like Nico said, Mark Wahlberg and Topher Reed and all those guys. So I guess it is a remake. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought I had seen the name before. I rewatched The Conclave again. I watched it the other day.
I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, and it was very, very interesting. Believe it or not, I think I don't know which Sonic the Hedgehog it was.
Which one? Yeah, Jay.
I don't know if it was a new one. Yeah, I started watching it. We had a little. That's sort of kind of a Friday night thing now. I have a movie night in a sense, so it's kind of been pretty cool. So I ended up watching a little kid show first, and then something a kid would watch. So I've seen the Sonic one, but I don't know if it was. It's got the blue. It almost looks like the same character, but I don't know if Jim Carrey was in this one, right?
He's in all of them.
So okay, so I don't know. I think it was just the original, the Sonic the Hedgehog, that one.
It must have been the cartoon then, because there's a cartoon.
Not the cartoon. Fuck.
Jim Carrey is the bad guy.
He's Robotnik. He's in all of them.
Yeah, he's not the blue guy.
The newest one. No, I didn't. Obviously, there's the newest one. I didn't watch that, but part of that series. Yeah, it was like the first or second one there in that series.
Okay, yeah. So then he's in
it wasn't that. It wasn't that in that shitty looking Sonic that like one that everybody.
No, they changed it though.
They
changed it.
This is more digital. Like it looks so cool, right?
Yeah. Like, I love those movies. I've said it. I love those movies. I think they're great. They're fun.
I mean, I watch fucking Despicable Me, but don't even get me started on Despicable Me. That's part of a movie I've watched recently. I'm watching all these weird movies, right? But
hey, you want kid movie recommendations? You should let us know. We can give you good ones you can watch.
Yeah, dude.
You're watching.
I'm a child at heart.
Younger audience.
Well, it's kind of not really my choice in that sense, but it works out, just to watching that and watching something good afterwards, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't gotten too crazy into it yet. Yeah, but yeah, I watched that documentary the other day, but that's not even a movie, so we won't get into it. Well, I guess I watched the Netflix one, The Fall of Diddy. I watched that whole series.
There is some premiere television type stuff that is actually on Letterboxd, Jay. I don't know if it was meant to be previously.
Yeah, I'm still going through this, right? Like I said, I'm still I'm looking at stuff that I'm trying to. I'm seeing if I've seen even recently while I'm talking with you guys, right? So
Yeah.
not
like
premiere television, sorry, prestige television stuff, and like documentaries and stuff are also there is some on
like limited series stuff will be on there.
Yeah, like prestige television, like stuff that's made like with a studio usually involved. Like,
but I didn't see it as a popular thing, or right. I don't know if I seen it on here as a popular thing, so I didn't realize that could be something. Yeah, that would be put up here or whatever as a movie. Just because it was a docuseries sort of thing, and it was released on a Netflix based channel. And I don't know. I just in my head.
Is this called? Right? Is it called Diddy: The Making of a Bad Boy?
Oh, wow. Fall of Diddy.
Diddy Monsters Fall?
Yeah, which of the Diddy ones? There's so many.
Oh, the Fall of Diddy, bro. It's just really literally.
There's a lot. So there's also one called Summit to Plummet.
Wow.
Oh, this was just recent. This came out like.
Is it called Diddy Monsters Fall?
No, there's a lot of them. Holy fuck!
Yeah, I told you. So, anyways, those are all on Letterboxd.
How many of those did 50 make?
That one hasn't come out yet. That one hasn't come out
yet. I'm waiting for that petty one. Yeah,
that one hasn't come out yet. We know all about the 51. That's the one I'm gonna watch.
Me too.
the pettiest man alive.
Yeah. Oh my
He's
God.
been Diddy's biggest hater since day one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Fall of Diddy. It is on here. 2025.
I told you. That's the one I said.
The first one.
Fall of Diddy. Yeah, it's on here. So there you go.
Diddy, 2025. So,
yeah, so there you go. It's on there.
It's on there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that one. Wow. There's a lot that just came out in 2025 too.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's on there. Yeah, let's read a review actually, since we're on it.
For fun.
I don't like Diddy. I know that's an absolute scorching take, but I just want everyone to know that I'm 100% healthy. So if I turn up missing or dead, the diddler called out a hit on 1 star.
Nice.
All right. Oh, here's one from JT. I love the diddler. 5 star.
Oh
here's
my God.
Oh, all of this. Hold on. There's another one here. So disturbing. Not the best show to watch before going to bed because 3 stars.
3 stars. There's so much comedy on there. Like, yeah, with the contrast between what people are rating it and how they comment on it.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I love Letterboxd.
Yeah, there's some stupid ones here too, though. Always. But go ahead, Jay. Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, those are really the ones that I've seen in the last since we did the last show. So I haven't really got into a crazy amount of. I wanted to start watching a few more things that you've watched, because I started seeing that you started watching things like I've been kind of following and seeing what you guys have been watching.
That's the point of doing this. Yeah, sometimes I see stuff Julie watches, and I'm like, oh, gotta add that to my list. Like that's how it works, right?
Yeah,
friendship.
I haven't seen like the ones that Julie has watched, because I'm just dumbfounded about how many that I've seen that she hasn't watched.
I know. We'll have to start turning them into episodes. So I have to for homework.
Julie's literally watched Giuseppe Makes a Movie, which no one's heard about, and yet has never seen Back to the Future. I don't know, man. I don't
understand that, dude.
Oh man.
I mean, the only thing I could probably agree with her on, like the ones that I haven't seen, is the Star Wars stuff that she has up there. But
Jay, right, she once vlogged some movie about tickling people like 3 fucking times, like a month ago. Not once, not twice, but thrice. I'm pretty sure she saw this with her fucking.
I kept showing it to people.
Fucking snobby fan club friends of her.
I had to keep watching it with people to see their reactions, because it's so fucked up.
Like tickling people, are you saying? Like literally tickling people?
She talked about it on the show. You don't remember?
Yeah, it's a documentary. Yeah. It's what's his name? David Ferrier.
Okay.
He goes on this, he's like looking for his next fucking news story for this, agency he's working for or whatever. And I don't know how he stumbles upon it, but he finds these fucking videos online that are about competitive tickling. And the whole thing, it's not hard to pick up on very early. And I think he's doing a bit that he like is pretending to not realize what it is. But it's a whole it's a fetish community. Like,
wow. I am not ticklish, so I don't even know I can.
Then you're not a good candidate for the competitive tickling.
I think there's only one spot, and I'm not going to give it away because, yeah, I know that
we don't. Nobody asked. Nobody asked.
Yeah. No. It's not a bad spot. It's just a weird spot.
Like, okay, we don't need to know. Anyway, so
you're just going to be rubbing ribs.
It's his prostate.
Anything, yeah. No, it's not my prostate. That's that's a doctor did that the
Stop.
other day.
No, I was joking. No more. So he goes on this like search to find out more about competitive tickling, and then ends up in the middle of.
Okay, there you go. Okay, just so it makes it so I'm not like so perverted now.
Okay, why are you getting so self-conscious? You're the biggest pervert on the fucking channel.
No, but I find that. That's so messed up for a grown man to be ticklish on his feet like that.
Anyway, so he goes on this whole interviewing spree, trying to find these people in this competitive tickling community, but they're all like very hush hush and afraid to talk to him because there's this like competitive tickling czar that has this power over them. And it's this, he uncovers this whole crazy weird fetish porn ring,
underground tickling.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
I could see how that could become.
It's a wild ride.
Hey, she's logged that 3 times that she hasn't seen Star Wars.
I mean, I think at that point I would have rather watched Star Wars, but that seems actually intriguing because, to be honest with you, I think that when people get tickled, like giggly ticklish, I think that is sort of like in a weird way a fetish to people.
That's what this whole thing that he is looking into for the whole documentary. But the whole thing, it's like the Tiger King of tickling. That's what the fucking movie is. Yeah.
Somebody gets eaten by a.
No, Carol Baskin is not involved. You just have to watch it. You have to watch it to understand. It's really fucking bizarre, but like it's another thing that's just like, how is he not figured out that it's a fetish ring yet? But like he must know. It's like it's a bit, but yeah, like it just gets progressively more wild. Like the legal shit that he gets involved into, just trying to find out what the fuck is going on in this underground weird porn ring that he's investigating. So yeah, I showed it to 3 different people, and I watched it 3 separate times in a very short amount of time.
I was like, every day I'd log on and be like, oh, looks like
she watched it again. What the fuck?
Well,
Nico's starting to get suspicious that I'm trying to get involved in competitive tickling.
Tickling, yeah, no, that's hilarious. No, but that's kind of weird. I mean, you can like that kind of stuff, but then you can't see something like Friendship or Nathan For You or something like that, like in that sort of comedy aspect and weirdness around it. I want to see how your brain works through movies.
Everyone's got their picadillos, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because I'm afraid to look at your watch list because I don't know what I'm going to find now. Yeah.
Oh no, you gotta, for the sake of curiosity, you gotta go look.
Well, I know, but I'm gonna start like going through it. And
I love seeing Julie's watch list. It'll be like tickled,
a review,
tickled, then some like Disney fucking movie, then tickled again, and then meanwhile there's a list of fucking classic movies she's never seen, just off to the side. I'm just like, what are you doing?
He's like, you could have watched anything, Julie, anything, and you watched Tickled for a 7th time.
Anyways,
God.
That's why any of these comments she comes on, if she ever shits on your movie, Jay, just look at her watch list.
That's what I'm starting to think. Like that's why I'm afraid to go down that that rabbit.
You can discredit me immediely. It's fine.
Yeah, I will. Oh, I'm gonna get ready for this one for the next one.
This is what Jay likes about the app. I did. You're gonna snoop on people.
When I see Nico and Christine start posting their stuff up there, right? Yeah. I look at myself. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm gonna try that one out because Nico's always got he's got over 1,000 movies watched. Like you've been on there long.
Really?
He trumps you, yeah.
I logged every fucking movie I've ever seen too, and I am disappointed that I haven't seen more stuff.
I haven't.
This guy watches more in a fucking year than most people in the world.
I know, yeah, he's on it, dude.
I'm on it. So speaking of that, let me get to my list.
Yeah, go for it.
So this is a longer like time period because it's been a while since we've like first did this episode and we didn't talk about it on the last late night at the movies. So
he's seen 1,001 movies according to his list. He's not that far away from me.
Logged.
Logged.
Yeah. There's probably 1 million that he hasn't even logged.
Probably.
So,
just from this year alone.
So first up, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Watched that in theaters. Really enjoyed it. Jim Carrey returned once again. It was great. I gave it 3.5 stars. Really like those movies. They're way better than they have any right to be. Big fan of that franchise. Here's one that me and Julie actually talked about on the show. I think we both had heard from separate sources that this was something that might be good to check out. And I wish I had seen this earlier. This is after we recorded our best of the year at the end of last year. It probably would have made my top 10, honestly, as like a sneaky under the radar pick. Yeah. And that's Snack Shack. Love this movie. I really enjoyed it. I remember you had mentioned it being on your list.
I didn't watch it yet, but it is I really
so fun. Honestly, yeah. It's a coming of age movie, which I'm a huge sucker for. And it's one of those coming of age movies where it's just like that one summer, like this encompasses a summer of this kid's life with his friend. And then obviously there's a love triangle thing going on between one hot chick that they both met that summer that they're both into. Yeah, it's just a lot of fucking fun. The way that it's edited together, I think you'd really appreciate it. It's really kind of like avant-garde, like kind of indie-ish movie kind of approach to a lot of the stuff that they do in it. The movie starts off literally like shot out of a cannon, like JT on steroids. You don't know what the hell is going on at the start of the movie. Like, honestly, for like the first 15 minutes, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. And then I was like, wow, this is like really well done and interesting. And then it gave no context. It just threw you right into the middle of things at the start of the movie. It was really well done. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's only available on digital if you guys want to check it out. But I'm sure you
Isn't like Jonah Hill or somebody involved in that movie somehow?
No, but it's a very super bad-esque type of film, I would say. If I had to compare it to something, but it's different. It's not
somebody from that circle was involved in the making of that movie somehow. Like Michael Cera or Jonah Hill or one of them was involved. Possibly. But anyway, go on and I'll figure it out. Go ahead.
I really enjoyed that though. It was really good. Next up, we got Oddity. For all you horror fans out there, I'd heard this was in some people's top 10 list of last year. I really liked it. I thought it was good. It's by this director, Damien McCarthy, which I'm not sure I've seen any of his other horror films, but it was interesting. Some creepy moments in this one, honestly. Yeah, it's just called Oddity. And the movie starts off really strangely, and you kind of get sucked in right from the get-go on that one. And then I watched for the first time ever The Conversation, which is a film from 1974 that what's his name, Coppola directed. And yeah, he did it in between Godfather 1 and Godfather 2. He did Godfather, and then because of the success of that film, he really wanted to go off and make this movie called The Conversation, and it's starring Gene Hackman. And it's really about like it's about a guy who basically is one of these dudes that people hire to get information, like a private eye type of deal. Not a private eye, but like someone that basically snoops on. It's called The Conversation because he records a conversation that this woman has with another man. And that's all I'll say about it because I don't want to reveal too much about the film. But he's like basically like one of these like spy type of people that people hire, like almost like a private eye by today's standards, that, you know, this guy may think something's up with his wife that hired him, and he records a conversation between this woman and another person. And it's about like what did I write about a review about this? I think I wrote a review on this one. Hold on, let me see what I wrote here. I think you can see it here. How do I look up my review on this film?
You should be able to just click on it and it should open. Like if you're in diary, yeah.
I wrote a great depiction of paranoia, obsession, and guilt. A very well shot film that often doesn't get talked about amongst all of Coppola's greatest films during this period, because it came out in between the fucking Godfather 1, Godfather 2, and then he did Apocalypse Now after that. So like he was just like on this tear of classic movies. I feel like everyone talks about in his filmography, but I haven't really heard this one talked about as much, but it's really well done. It was like he basically spirals out like JT on steroids in this movie. It's pretty awesome. It's like he just goes all out, and as the movie goes on, he just gets more and more paranoid.
Oh, good God. Guns blazing.
Then I watched a movie called Layer Cake that was shout out to Max. That
I've heard about that one.
Yeah, Max told me to watch this because I like those British gangster films, and that's basically what this is. If you like Guy Ritchie films, you'll probably like this one. And it's starring what's his name from James Bond, Daniel Craig, who's in the James Bond films. He stars in this, and it's pretty good. I liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I watched Michael Clayton for the first time. This is a very well-regarded film that I just thought was all right. Michael Clayton.
Michael Clayton.
Yeah, it's starring George Clooney. But like for some folks that I've heard in like film bro circles, like this is like a 5-star movie. I gave it 3.5. I don't know. I like George Clooney. It's a good performance by him in this, but I just wasn't as into the story. I felt like for whatever reason, it was fine. It was well done, but anyways, it's just not in my like, you know, I wasn't blown away by that one.
Yeah.
I watched Drive Away Dolls, which is starring Margaret Qualley, who had like a really good year between The Substance and like, you know, I think she was in another movie too this past year that was really well regarded. This came out, I think it's on Amazon Prime. I watched it. It's on Amazon Prime if anybody wants to check it out through a streaming service. Did not like this movie. It's like I gave it 2 stars. It's like a rip-off film that's trying to be like Pulp Fiction-esque, but it's not good.
Yep.
It's not good. Yeah. No Hard Feelings I rewatched, which is the Jennifer Lawrence comedy where she tries to hired to bang this kid. I still enjoy it. I like Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know. I think it's fine.
I know she gets a lot of flack for like being the like, oh, I'm Jennifer Lawrence, I'm so relatable. I don't give a shit. She's cool.
She is cool, and I think that I like that she went for like an R-rated raunchy comedy in this time now where they don't happen as often anymore. So I like that this movie went for that in that respect. I rewatched The Insider because Christina never watched it, which is a Michael Mann film. Again, shout out to Max. That's his boy, Michael Mann, his favorite director. Boy. Very good movie though. Speaking of Pacino, he's in this, and so is Russell Crowe, and it's really good Russell Crowe as well. And directed by Michael Mann. And then for new movies, I watched Den of Thieves 2 Pantera in movie theaters. I went to go check that out. That's the sequel to like the action movie that's basically like a ripoff of Heat, starring what's his name? O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's son, and Gerard Butler's in it as Big Nick, reprising his role, these two characters. And again, it's like a heist type of film. So if you like heist movies, this is a slam dunk, in my opinion. 3.5 stars I gave this. I didn't like it as much as the first movie, but it still was pretty fun, like watching it and like, seeing the heist unfold in this one.
Did you watch the first one just prior to going to see this one again, or what?
No, but I watched the first one for the first time like last year, so it's still pretty fresh on my mind. Yeah. Okay. I was late to the party on that. That's when Max hyped up a lot, so I ended up checking it out.
Every time I hear that title, I think it's a video game movie for some reason.
I know it sounds like that, right?
Yeah.
Den of Thieves. I talked about. I actually think I talked about this on our last episode when we were talking about Oscar nominations. I watched Flow, which is a really good animated film. Honestly, a lot of fun. I give that 4 stars out of 5. I really enjoyed that one. I can see revisiting that at some time. It's there's no actual like human talking throughout the film. It's all like animals doing stuff in the midst of like a flood. So that was a lot of fun. I watched a movie called Revenge, which is by Coralie Farget, the director who's nominated for The Substance. This was her first film. That it was a Shudder horror film. It's a revenge movie about a girl that gets like brutally raped, which I know isn't a great subject for some folks. I know. But she gets her revenge. That's all I'll say. It's literally called Revenge. So
sick, tight. I like it.
Yeah, it's an action movie, and it definitely has tones of The Substance in it in terms of the gore involved at times. and it's her first, and it's shot really interestingly well as well. If you watch Substance and you like that, definitely check this movie out. She goes, a guy takes her up to, she's like a side piece, and she gets taken up to like his getaway, like secret cottage place where he does hunting with his boys. And the guys show up to this place. The other two guys, they're like these scumbag dudes. And one of them's alone with her at one point, and he ends up raping her. It's like, and this is in the first like 15 minutes of the movie. And then from there, it's just like a gonzo, like she ends up taking ayahuasca and tripping out in the middle of the fucking like,
Damn.
yeah, it's crazy. You got to watch it. It's
It's
called Revenge. It's called Revenge. So it's a pretty fucking whacked out film. That's all I'll say.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. Should take ayahuasca and start fucking killing people in random.
Exactly.
And go through life at the same time.
And then I watched rewatched the movie called Copland, which is a really good. It's by Sylvester Stallone and Harvey Keitel and Ray Liotta. You've seen that, right, Jay?
Yeah, great. I think so. Yeah, it's an older movie, right?
Yeah, Robert De Niro. It's a huge cast, like a bunch of people that showed up on The Sopranos. It's really good. Then I rewatched, Jay, you like this. I rewatched Caddyshack.
Yeah, I noticed that on your list there.
I think that's got to go on my list of I haven't seen it.
Caddyshack, yeah, it's I mean, it's of its time, but it's a lot of fun.
I wonder, it might already be on there.
I mean,
it's for Canadian actors, for Canadian actors.
Yeah, Chevy Chase is on there. Rodney Dangerfield, Bill Murray's on
there. It's already on my list.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like my list that people are always offended I haven't seen it, that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched What's that, Jay?
Said it might take her a while to get to it still, guys. She's got a lot of movies.
It's number 40 out of 90, so yeah.
I watched The Aviator for the first time, which is a Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
That's a great movie.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
Never seen it. And it's a Scorsese movie with Leo. It's the only one I've never watched that they've done together. For whatever reason.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
It is like a 3-hour movie, but it's about Howard Hughes, you know, the guy who was a director that ended up pissing in bottles towards the end of his life.
Yeah, he was fucked.
OCD, right? It was I mean, I think they knew he had it.
Yeah, there was a little bit more than that, but yeah, he was bad, bro.
Yeah,
he became a hermit, like little hermit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I gave that 4 stars. It's a really well done movie about his life. Yeah,
it's a great character.
Great Leo performance. Yeah, it's really good.
You get him everything from the aviator glasses right to just like, you know, everything. He just got fucking.
I gotta rewatch it. I feel like I know I've seen it, but I don't remember it properly. I think I need to rewatch.
I never watched it, so I was just like, I gotta check this out because it's one of the Scorsese films with a guy he's collaborated with like 5 or 6 times at this point that I've never seen. It's the only one I hadn't seen of theirs, right? So it's really good.
Classic. It's good, man.
Yeah,
not classic, but I mean, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's well done. It's a well done.
Enough to be a classic movie, I don't think yet.
I don't know how rewatchable it is per se, but that's.
But
I'm glad I've seen it. Yeah. Now, I watched The Apprentice because Max was talking about it, which is the Donald Trump movie. Sebastian Stan. Listen, despite your thoughts on Donald Trump,
I'm trying to think of if I've seen it.
It's new. It just came out this past year.
Then no, I haven't seen it.
And Sebastian Stan, who's the Winter Soldier in the Marvel movies, he plays Donald Trump in it. Okay. And it's also with Jeremy Strong. They're both in that show Succession. They're both nominated for Oscars this year. So that's made me want. That's why I watched it. Max had talked about it and said he liked it. Despite what you think about him, it is Donald Trump before like his success, the film. Like they talk about how he became who he is. And the most impressive thing about it is seeing this guy transform into the Donald Trump we know today in his mannerisms and the way that he's talking. By the end of the film, he transforms himself into what we think of Donald Trump now. And when the movie starts out, it's a very different type of person. Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't want to say it humanizes him because it definitely does not shy away from making him look like a bad person in this movie, but it shows you two different Donald Trumps in the film, which is kind of interesting, I thought, in that sense. So I did
just like real life had caught up to him, and that's why he is the way he is today, you know.
Yeah, you see certain things. you see certain things that they focus on in his life that you were. It's interesting. I'll say that it's an interesting performance. I wrote a review about it here. That might.
Is he nominated for this?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I wrote a review about it here. I said the most impressive thing about the film were the performances of Jeremy Strong and Sebastian Stan. Otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward film with little to offer outside of the story being told, and at times I found it uninteresting. Sebastian Stan, as he progresses throughout the film, slowly morphs more and more into the Donald Trump of today, or even of that period, and it was interesting to see unfold. I don't think either of them will win the Oscar this year, despite both of them being nominated, because if you look at the nominations,
Competition.
yeah, but it's very good nonetheless. Like I said, I found it boring at times, but I thought it was well done. Like the performances were the big takeaway. So I gave it 3.5 stars.
Right.
And I recently watched Companion in theaters.
That one made me want to. I want to watch it after you know, just
Yeah.
your little thing there that you put.
Sophie Thatcher, who's in Yellow Jackets, as Jay is referring to, because we're a big fan of that show and her in that movie. And she was also in Heretic at the end of last year that came out, which was also very good. She's on a roll. And this is a movie where you can't really say too much. It's about a woman in love with a man, and that's all I'm going to say. You got to kind of watch it. It's a horror movie, but there's other aspects to it. And it's one of those twists that in the first 20 minutes, it's revealed what's going on, but then you kind of just are along for the ride for the rest of the film. It's interesting.
It's a horror
I
movie.
think I saw the trailer for that. I feel like I saw it. Was it last year?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It just came out this month, but last year they were showing the trailer at the end of last year. Yeah. It's not a horror. It's more of a thriller, I would say, actually. It's a thriller. Yeah. It's like, it's got some horror elements, maybe.
I'll put it in the list.
I like Sophie Thatcher. I like Jack Quaid. Jack Quaid's in it, who's really good.
I like him. Yeah.
I liked this. It was a fun time. That's what I wrote. Also,
the fun time part. I was like wondering, okay, what kind of fun time did Nico have with this? Now that you said it's a horror movie, now I know.
I really like her. I really
come something in there and like a come shot of a movie or some sort of shit like that. One of the reviews I've seen on it.
No, there's nothing that dirty in this movie, but I do like her.
Well,
she's
yeah, but the way that they came across with that comment threw me off.
Right. So here I highlighted a couple of reviews. I'm almost at the end of my list, guys, so don't worry. I highlighted a couple of reviews about this because these guys said it well. Ex Machina meets Blink twice. That's what this person wrote.
Okay.
This film presents a blend of comedy and horror centered around AI. All right.
Okay.
Featuring elements of gore and domestic violence, all while offering a somewhat realistic glimpse into the potential future of AI. While the premise isn't entirely original, its unique perspective and humor make it engaging. Some other takeaways. Sophie Thatcher is an absolute marvel. I agree. Jack Quaid is arguably the most punchable face in Hollywood. Overall, good film. There you go. 3.5 stars.
That's
for that.
Dennis Quaid's fucking son, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Dennis Quaid doesn't have a punchable face.
And listen to this, Jay. This made me like Sophie Thatcher even more. This person's review. You know how Florence Pugh acts with her mouth?
Yes.
That's Sophie Thatcher with her eyes. I hope every director in Hollywood watches this and starts casting her in everything. I cannot agree more.
She is hot, though.
She is. She's very cute. Yeah.
Is she of age? Like, that's the problem. Like, it's so weird.
Bro. Maybe not when she started.
She's a young character. No, but she plays young roles, like especially when in the Heritage.
She's in her 20s.
Like
she's in her 20s.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I just feel like a dirty old man sometimes, bro. That's the problem because they look, younger than they are.
I watched Let's Start a Cult, which was what's his name's first movie? Stavros Halkias, that Greek comedian.
Yeah.
He's on podcasts a lot and stuff, like these comedy podcasts he does the rounds. I really think he's funny, but this is his first movie effort. Not that good. I gave it 2.5 stars. I just think I want him to do more stuff. I'm excited for him that he got this opportunity. Like I wrote this basically up in my review, but this was just not a very good movie. The plot was kind of wacky. He basically is part of a cult and then he goes off and tries to start his own cult because everyone kills themselves in the cult and he's not part of the killing themselves moment. You know how they all kill themselves? He misses out on it because he's so fucking annoyed. See, that part about it's funny. There's a bit of dark humor in it. The premise of it is really good. It just the execution was not as funny, in my opinion. But anyways, and I gave it 2.5 stars. Rewatched E.T., an absolute classic. Have you ever seen that, Julie?
Yeah, fuck.
Once.
Oh, okay. Wow.
5
It has a
stars.
a
5 stars.
Once I think let me double. I know I've seen it, but I wonder if I even have it in here as that I've watched it.
Yeah, 5-star movie.
Yeah,
Rewatched
Nico went
it.
way back, bro. Nico went back before he was even born.
Yeah, I rewatched E.T. I still
But
love it.
I think we all grew up watching like
Just
even
little baby Drew Barrymore.
Yeah,
used to always,
Alien.
I used
My
to get called because of my alien head too.
My favorite part by far, rewatching it, was at the end when they come to pick him up. And he has to, like, listen, he's in a rush. Like, there's people, the government's after him and all this stuff. He has to get into the spaceship and the ET thing, like, waddle. It's like, he has to, like, waddle into the fucking spaceship. He's like, bye, ET. And he's like,
I just love that Drew Barrymore thought that he was real. So she was so nice to the little robot.
Yeah, very
ET.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Steven Spielberg at his best. I love it. It's 5 stars automatically.
Yeah.
And then I recently watched just this past week for Valentine's Day, just in time, Hard Eyes, a Valentine themed slasher film comedy.
I've seen some stuff about this. Yeah.
The killer
Is that another horror film?
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
a Blumhouse movie. If it's not Blumhouse, but it's like one of those. It's like if you watch like Happy Death Day to You and things like that, you would like this movie. It's kind of like cheesy, but kind of owns its cheesiness, and it's kind of fun, and it's got some funny moments.
It gets gratuitous, but it's like, okay.
Like that. I think I described it well in my review here that I put. I said, what I did like about this movie is that it played into its own self-awareness of cheesy horror and romantic comedy tropes, which lead to some funny moments, while not abandoning the fact that at the end of the day, this is a holiday-themed slasher romantic comedy and should be treated as such. And that's basically what I thought about this.
So it was fun.
Yeah, I give it 3 stars. I give it 3 stars. So it was
the Halloween costume of the year.
Yeah. The Hard Eyes, the slasher, they light up. It's really cool, actually.
Neat.
I gotta get that shit. That looks so cool, man.
People are getting killed on Valentine's Day. That's it. If you're in love, watch out.
Watch out.
It's a great one to watch just before Valentine's Day. No need.
Of course, Christine wanted to go watch it. We watched it on her birthday weekend.
Of course.
So
every year, it's all year round Halloween for her.
That's right. And then, of course, there's Any Given Sunday, which we talked about. Watch our episode from last week, guys. 3 stars.
I'm going to be more harsh than that.
All right. So that's stuff that we've been watching lately. Anything that anybody wants to mention that they want to watch, want to check out coming up here? Julie? Or Jay? Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jay.
Well, I'm just looking at your guys' list and I'm seeing stuff like that. But I've also, I have a few like that are coming out this year, like Fantastic Four, and those types of the Superman one and those types of movies I want to see coming up as of upcoming. But as of right now, from what I'm looking at, just taking a quick glimpse at your list too here, Nico, because Julie's like I'm really scared to go down Julie's list. Except I did watch Interstellar. I forgot to mention that I did watch it. So
still great.
Yeah, I've watched that like 4 times now. So
I love it.
It gets better and better every time. But yeah, no, these Hard Eyes, that companion one, when you put companion, is really one I wanted to check out. Yeah. Just because I don't know if I want to check out Start a Cult if it's actually just going to fail, right? And then I miss out on the day.
I would skip it.
But I mean, the companion one, I think I'd like to check out because of the actress, and
she's 24, Jay.
Okay, Nico, thank you, buddy.
She's legal in all states.
She's legal in all states. I want to check out that Den of Thieves too, but I have to watch the one first because I'd like to check them both out because I kind of read the synopsis of it and I was like, you know what, maybe I can see myself watching something like that.
The first one is really, really good. The second one's good too, but the first one, your boy 50's in it as well, actually. And I don't know if anybody's watched Orange is the New Black here. Has anybody watched that show? The guy who's porn stash is in it. I love that show. The guy who plays porn stash is the bad guy in it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, there's a few too that I like to watch. There's and a bunch that I'm not really. I'm just trying to think of what I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch the what's that? Oh, sorry, dude. I just lost my page. But Oh Love Hurts. I wanted to check that one out just to see what it was about.
Yeah.
Right. That's coming out, I think, this week, or it already did. It actually came out on the 6th, right? So I want to check that one out. But there's certain things that I can, the Monkey. I can't wait to watch The Monkey this year.
Cannot wait to watch that from the Longlegs director, Julie.
Oh, they had
the director of Longlegs. It's called The Monkey.
God.
No,
that's an adaptation too, right? It's an older movie too. It's been around.
This one is getting just as much hype as Longlegs has. There's a poster because the director's name is Osgood.
James.
Honestly, Julie, the rollout of this is genius marketing again. The poster literally says, he's like, all this shit happens in the movie, which Osgood Perkins, who's the director, thinks is quite funny. I'm going to find this poster for it. It's actually kind of funny, the poster, and it has like a picture of him, but it's like, it's like all this brutal murder and all this shit happens in this movie, and he thinks it's hilarious or something, and it shows a picture.
Yeah. And the cast is kind of pretty neat too. Like it's got the guy from Severance there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Adam Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Theo James. I like Theo James. I've seen quite a few things that he's been in. So I'd like to see how this one plays out with him in it.
No Theo Vaughn?
No Theo Vaughn. No Theo Vaughn. But no, the Theo James that I think is Australian too, if I'm not mistaken. But don't quote me on that. But I've seen him in certain things, and I really do think he's a good actor.
Yeah, the poster says it's a movie about twin brothers who discover a toy monkey that likes killing their family. There is outrageous violence, shocking gore, and unspeakable tragedies. For Osgood Perkins, it's pretty fucking funny. And then there's a poster of him.
Nice.
It's based on a short story by Stephen King.
Okay.
Is this another one that's coming out this year? And I'm not sure because sometimes I can't trust what I see. Like, I always ask Nico when I'm watching trailers and stuff, or if I'm going to watch a trailer, if it's real or not. I'm starting to figure out which sites are the genuine sites now that I'm looking at. But Lords of War, it's got Skarsgård in there.
I'm not familiar with that one.
It doesn't have a release date yet, but the world's most famous arms dealer discovers that his son and Anton outdo each other. Like, I don't know. It's
just a sequel to Lord of War, which is the Nicolas Cage movie with I
don't know,
because there's a movie called
Nicolas Cage is actually in it. Sorry,
are they doing a sequel?
I don't know because it's the Skarsgård.
Jared Leto is in the original. It's called Lord of War. It's a really good.
No,
movie.
yeah, this is Lords of War, and this one, that's what I mean. It has Bill Skarsgård in it too, and I'm trying to figure because it doesn't have a release date yet.
They might. It's about a gun runner, the first one, Lord of War. So maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, this is government. Yeah, the world's most famous arms dealer. Right.
Yeah, maybe they're making a sequel. Maybe they're making a sequel.
Triggers a father-son rivalry, and that wasn't in the beginning. The first,
it's on IMDb, so yeah, it's real. Wow, I didn't know about this. Well, that's interesting.
I heard of I seen the thing, and it said the Skarsgård, and we know because
this is out or it's not out.
Not out yet.
It's not out yet.
Doesn't even have a release date yet. But
okay.
I think it's in pre-production or post-production or whatever they call that, right?
That's interesting. Did not know that. Love Lord of War. Watch that. That's the original. Very good. If you haven't seen it, Jade. Lord of War. It's called by Nicolas. With Nicolas Cage and Jared Leto.
My old man too also wanted me to watch Arcadian.
I haven't seen that.
That's another Nicolas Cage movie. He's going to come back this year, right?
Well, Lord of War is like from 2005 or something.
Yeah, Arcadian's 2024. It's last year.
Yeah,
but it's after that time frame when he kind of sort of disappeared. When and he's kind of making sort of a little comeback for himself.
Yeah, I highly recommend Lord of War though for anybody who hasn't seen it. It's good.
What about Jurassic World Rebirth?
Looking forward to that, actually. I've been out on the Jurassic Park, the whole trilogy with what's his name there, Chris Pratt.
Crispy Rat.
Yeah, but I heard good things about this one, and Scarlett Johansson's in this one, so I think I'm there.
Oh yeah, Scarlett Johansson is that's I think the
motivator for me.
Yeah. But then you got Marshall Ali. He's in it.
Oh, he's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah.
Right. And Rupert Friend. So I don't know. I'm looking at stuff like that, like certain new films that are coming out, and I've put them on a list of something else that now I'm going to start transferring to Letterboxd because
Okay.
these tend to pop up a lot quicker than the ones
Right.
search. Then I know the name to search for on Letterboxd, right?
Right. So very quickly, things I'm looking forward to checking out that are coming out in 2025. I've made a smaller list here. It'll probably expand it. It'll be more by next episode. I put down One Battle After Another, which I don't think has the release date, but it's supposed to come out this year. This is the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio, which I think is very interesting because he's never worked with Paul Thomas Anderson. I also don't love everything Paul Thomas Anderson does, but this is an interesting collaboration. If he's in this film, I do want to see. So that's a movie not many people know anything about, but I think it's supposed to be coming out this year, they've said. Some of these have been trailer reactions that we've already done on the channel here, guys. So check these out. One of them is the new Ryan Coogler film with Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. I do want to see that. I believe it comes out, I think this month, actually, if I'm not mistaken, this month or next month. The new Ari Aster film, which is his first film that he's done since Beau is Afraid, which I was not the hugest fan of, but I believe this is supposed to be like, I don't know, a comedy or a dark comedy. It's something different for him. And it's starring what's her name in it? Pedro Pascal's in it, Emma Stone and Austin Butler, Julie's favorite. It's called Eddington, and this is the new Ari Aster film. I mean, I loved as much as I didn't love Beau was Afraid, I did love, of course, Hereditary and what the hell's it called?
Midsummer.
Midsummer, yeah. So I'm gonna go check this one out. Josh,
can I be corny and throw one in?
Sorry,
can I be corny and throw one in?
Go ahead.
That I just remembered off the top of my head that I want to watch Paddington Bear, that new one that's coming out.
I think you were talking about that before.
Yeah, people like those movies.
Yeah,
Paddington 2 apparently is the best one.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Yeah, those are going to bring back some cool childhood memories, I think, which is something that is always good to do when you're watching a movie that's new. That'll bring back a different spin on it, right?
I do want to see this Mickey 17 movie. I know, Julie, you've talked about that as well. It's been like teased for a while now, and it was supposed to come last year, I feel like, but it got delayed. And that's by Bong Joon-ho, I think is the director, who I really like a lot of his other films, so I'm looking forward to that. Snowpiercer was one of his movies that I really liked, so I'm looking forward to doing that, to watching.
Julie hasn't seen that one yet.
Parasite, of course, was very good. And to Julie's chagrin, Friendship, a new movie from A24 starring Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson. Very much looking forward to this movie, which is called, which it said in the trailer, I Love You Man for Sickos, which I'm sold on that premise. And
I Love You Man is awesome too as well.
Yeah. And of course, Josh and Benny Safdie have kind of started doing stuff separately from each other after Uncut Gems. And although they just announced that they're working together on a show for A24, actually, they just got announced this past week. But they kind of, it's a show that they're going to do apparently. But Josh Safdie, this is his first directorial debut film outside of doing films with his brother. And it's a movie that he's doing this year that comes out called Marty Supreme. And it's starring Timothy Chalamet, who's been on a roll as of lately. And I just like the Safdie brothers, so I'm going to check this out. So that's another one that seemed interesting to me. And finally, all of David Lynch's films, because I've only watched Mulholland Drive. If you want to hear us talk more about our experience with David Lynch stuff, which isn't much, I think across the board for all four of us, definitely go check out our last episode of Late Night at the Movies. 2 episodes ago, episode 51, our first in the new year, where we talked about the life of David Lynch, or what we know of it. I did start watching Twin Peaks, though. I watched the first season so far. Pretty good. That's all I'm going to say about that. So
yeah, that's
not done yet.
Yeah, that's kind of cool that you're watching that.
Yeah. So go ahead, Julie.
You're going way back.
Yeah.
My watch list is fucking huge, but I've been going through maybe a lot of this will be repeats of stuff that I've said before, like if I were to go through the whole thing, but I'm just trying to go through and pick out stuff that's that sticks out to me that I'm like, yeah, I really should watch that.
Got a movie a day.
No, the playlist that I made that is like movies that I haven't seen that I should have seen is different than my watch list. So like I have so as far as like stuff that's coming out this year, like off the top of my head when I scroll through here, like stuff that I know that is upcoming that I'm looking forward to. The new Avatar movie is supposed to come out this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that down. Most of what I have in here, and Mickey 17, that's this year.
A lot. I mean, they're all good movies. They look too.
Conclave, I really should watch. Oh, remember I said that thing about Jonah Hill or whatever? I was mixing it up with a movie called Mid-90s.
Oh, I love that movie. That's a good coming-of-age movie.
That's in my watch list.
That's Jonah Hill's directorial debut, that film.
That's what I was thinking of. So Snack Shack is also on here, but yeah, Mid-90s I have on here as well.
In the same area in terms of like the tone of the film, absolutely.
Okay. I'm going back super far just to see like, oh, what have I forgotten about that's buried in here? I know that this movie is super sad, but I haven't seen it, and I should. SLC Punk is on my fucking watch list.
Love that movie. Oh, you have never seen that, Julie? Oh,
no.
It's a good fucking
I know, and I should fucking watch it.
Oh, I'm surprised you haven't seen that one.
I know.
That's a good movie.
So that's SLC Punk.
Yeah, it's with it's actually
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard, and also what's his name is in it too. It's a young a guy from Shrinking. What's his fucking name is in it? Jay.
What did you just? Oh, Nathan.
Michael Gorgian.
No. Jason Segel's in it. Jason Segel's in it.
Oh, he's further down the line here.
It's good. He's like the straight edge guy or something in it.
Oh, shit.
You gotta check it out. It's well, a lot of them are straight edge in that, except for this guy called Heroin Bob or something. I think his name was in it. You gotta check it out. It's really good.
I think I know what happens to him.
It's like very good Matthew Lillard, like a good period of him. Like
he's kind of like, I mean, he's not really slept on, but like he doesn't really get his flowers. You know what I mean?
No, the dude was in Scream Without a Paddle, SLC Punk, Scooby Doo. Like he has credits. He has good movies. Like he was in some good things back in the day. I remember liking a lot of his stuff. Yeah.
So that's in here, kind of buried. I want to watch Snowden because Joseph Gordon-Levitt's my boy.
Yeah.
I've never seen Dogma. I should watch that.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah. I got into this thing a while back that I was like, I was like in a mood to watch Philip Seymour Hoffman stuff, and I've never seen Capote, and I should watch that. I feel like
me neither. I've never seen that either. Yeah.
That was like a thing that was really a notable performance for him, or at least that was what I was seeing.
Yeah.
I've never seen Airheads.
Wow.
Adam Sandler's in that movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Brendan
What's
Fraser.
His name too? And all his boys with the fucking lipstick. What's his name?
Yeah,
it's
the three of them.
Long hair. Yeah, he has the long hair.
Yeah.
What else is on here?
Fraser, old school Encino Man, Brandon Fraser, bro.
I love Encino Man is a great movie.
Yeah. No, but I mean that's like the style he is in compared to the
We's in the juice.
What's his name? Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Craft, and I feel like that's a movie that people would probably think that I would have seen.
Christine loves that movie.
I bet she fucking does.
Yeah.
2 movies from my childhood that I feel like I just missed out on: Mirror Mask and The Page Master.
So Mirror Mask is based on a Neil Gaiman graphic novel as well. And I don't know if you've heard about him in the news lately.
Yeah, it's not great. Didn't know that.
What's the other one? Page Master you've never seen? Oh, that's another Christine favorite right there. You're naming all of her favorites. Right?
I gotta get that one out of the way too.
That's Macaulay Culkin does the voice of the kid in that.
Yeah.
All the ones we did movies too for movie reviews. Julie hasn't seen. I've been just looking through her list.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. People keep telling me to watch Adaptation.
Yeah, so that's a Charlie Kaufman movie with Nicolas Cage,
which I like. Charlie Kaufman. I mean,
Have you watched it? If you watch Inside John or Being John Malkovich,
Yep.
so then you'll probably like.
I like that movie a lot.
You'll like Adaptation then because it's very.
And I like Synecdoche, New York.
It's very, very meta, that movie, like many of his other films too.
Maybe
so,
that's why, because I was like, I want to rewatch Synecdoche, New York, but you have to really set a time. Set aside time for it.
It's apparently the one that it's the most well regarded the adaptation. Honestly,
this is what I'm hearing, and yeah, it keeps getting recommended to me, so that's in there.
Nicolas Cage isn't an actor in that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the one with the flower pot. His head's a flower pot on the poster.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta watch Good Time. That keeps getting recommended to me too.
Oh, that's a Safdie brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Jay have done
I know.
Movies on that. We
There's
love
a lot.
That.
Dude, she still doesn't watch Beach Bum.
So
yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
So Mac, me, and Jay love that movie. Good Time. It's so good.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mulholland Drive I put on here after we talked about it. Oh no, it's probably been on here for a bit.
Good Time to the top of that list you just told us, honestly.
All right. I'll move it up. What else is on here? Amadeus I put on here after Max told me to watch it.
Reservoir Dogs either.
Somebody told me.
Yeah.
Somebody told me to watch The Good Son. I don't know. Okay. That's in here.
That movie's fucked.
I want to watch Blackbird because I keep getting fed clips of it. Right. And I should watch that. Infinity Pool.
Very good.
Mid-90s is on here. Did this one come out already? No, this is not out. I don't know. Oh, this is not even in pre-production yet. That's new. I put the Beyond the Spider-Verse in here, but it's not even close to being. There's no date or anything. What the fuck else is on it? Was this the other Spider-Man one? No, that's 2026.
I apologize.
Who told me to watch Dix the Musical?
Not me.
Nico.
I don't know. That's in here. I don't remember who told me to watch that, but somebody told me to watch Prometheus.
That's the Aliens prelude. Yeah.
Okay.
I've never
that's
seen
the one
it.
that we just watched, right? No, Aliens. What was that one that the Aliens, the new one that was just out not too long ago?
Romulus.
Alien Romulus, yeah.
No, this is the prelude to Aliens. It's about like what made the aliens or whatever. It's aliens adjacent, essentially. This movie, yeah.
I put Licorice Pizza on here, which is Paul Thomas Anderson.
Tell you what, I watched it already.
Licorice Pizza?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it yet. It's still on here.
Okay.
Saltburn is still on here. It's been on here for a while.
Yeah.
I just feel like I've heard too much. I just need to watch it and get it over with. Beach Bum's still on here.
I just get time to watch movies like that. Seriously, like to Nico's got it down to an art form where it's like, no, seriously. If you look at his list and when they were watched and what they were rewatched, and it's all spaced out perfectly. Like and every day has something.
Who told me to watch The Sun?
The Sun? Is that the one with the doll?
I don't know. It's Hugh Jackman.
Oh no, that wasn't me then. I don't know.
It's from 2022. I don't know. Somebody must have told me to watch it because it's too old for me to have seen a trailer.
You know something? I might have called the Good Son the Sun at one point. I think. I mean,
maybe.
I think that's what ended up happening there. It
says a successful lawyer with a new wife and infant agrees to care for his teenage son from a previous marriage after his ex-wife becomes concerned about the boy's wayward behavior.
I've never seen that one. No.
Oh no.
Believe it or not, I've actually watched this one that's on.
Vanessa Kirby is in it.
Oh, there you go, from Fantastic Four.
Yeah. She plays probably his wife. I'm not really sure. Somebody told me to watch Arthur the King. Don't remember who that was. And I want to watch A Real Pain.
That was good.
Other than that, and I've added 10 fucking things that we've talked about now. So that's pretty much that's the catch up on the things that are in there that I'm like, these are sticking out to me as ones that I should watch, and I feel like rank higher than some of the other shit that's on there.
All right. Well, there you have it. There's our watch list, things that we are looking forward to watch instead of things we have watched recently. And once again, you can follow all of us on Letterboxd with our names here underneath our names, our Letterboxd accounts. And next episode, I think because we had a lot to unload about 2 months worth of things that we've been talking.
Probably won't be as long.
Won't be as long.
Yeah.
But I think we did a good job our first time out here. This was a lot of fun chatting about all these things. So, like
the pilot episode.
Yeah, this
was what, honestly, as you guys were talking, it helped me learn my way through this. Now I've been able to go through, at least now on the computer form. I'm not. I got to figure it out a little better on the.
You get used to it.
Form. Yeah, but I think now I've got the gist of it, like the real, and that helped me out too. Because as I was listening to you guys, I'm looking and I'm, all right, I can see me watching this or trying to check this out. Yeah.
It'll become second nature when somebody like recommends something to you. You'll go to the app real quick and add it to a thing so you don't lose it.
And then once you watch something, you'll log it in right after, like I do, and then you don't have to worry about it until we come back to the show, right? So like you bring it up, and that's why it's a good way of kind of keeping track of things. And like I said, like being in the conversation, being part of the conversation with folks, checking in, seeing what I've been watching. Maybe it'll inspire you to watch something or something. You know what I mean? Like it's good.
That's what your list makes more sense for me in the sense of not to say anything about your list, Julie.
You don't want to watch Tickled 3 times?
Watch it 9 times.
That's actually, honestly, that actually is one that actually sounds like I might want to check it out.
You'll watch it, and then you'll be like, I have to show this to somebody else, and you'll watch it with them.
The movie that you brought up to me that last time, and that Giuseppe makes it where we're supposed to be doing the recording of that, I would have never knew about that fucking movie if it wasn't for you.
I wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for Miles.
I'm watching it, to be honest with you.
You had a good time watching it?
Yeah, when we talk about it, like it's interesting.
It's right up your alley in terms of fucked up. I knew that you'd have fun.
Oh man, I can relate. There's certain things. Oh my god.
Well, that part I wasn't necessarily predicting, but
I can relate to some things, like little things, like weird things.
I'm still looking forward to that.
Movies.
Don't talk too much about it, Jay. We gotta hash it out on an episode.
I know. I'm just saying that I'm not coming at it with like you with I hate those fucking thing vibes, but trust me, I think
hey, that's what the people want. They come here for a hot take, Julie. They want to see what kind of garbage takes I have.
It's true. She's
I watch Groundhog Day, and it's fucking Groundhog
Firecracker,
Day.
dude.
She created a name for herself around these parts now.
This is Julie 3.0 on fucking steroids, bro.
Tickled 5 stars. Best thing I've ever seen.
Holy fuck.
Fury Max. Sorry, Mad Max Fury Road. Piece of garbage.
Fuck that guitar guy into the ground.
That guitar guy. I was gonna say the rock chick. I don't know why I said chick, but Julie just shooting it down like fucking.
So there you go.
You want to argue about it? Comment on the video, you bitch.
So there you have it, guys. We'll see you on the next one where we go over what we've been watching, what we're looking forward to watching, and other Letterboxd associated stuff. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Later, everyone.
Later.